Guys, welcome to day 2 of a very powerful energetic activation that we have going on in the sky right now. That is a conjunction happening between Mercury, the messenger planet, and Mars, the ruler of the battlefield, coming today into an exact square while they are conjunct with Saturn, the ruler of time, ruler of karma, the planet who inserts boundaries and likes things to go slow and be precise, attention to detail, limitations, restrictions. Forming this square with Mars and Mercury, which is all about things happening quickly, information spreading, and actioning happening fast. So will be interesting to see what these energetics bring today. But again, there is just this underlying theme of things spreading very quickly in the cosmos, in the energetic blueprint that is coming down for us today. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is Wednesday, November 10th, 2021. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook for the day, and it is a big one, it is a powerful one, and it is continuing on the energetics that we had activating yesterday. Yesterday, we had Mercury come into the conjunction with Mars. This really kicked this energetic off. They were 1 degree out of the exact square with Saturn. Today, they moved together, Mercury and Mars moved together from 7 degrees of Scorpio, where they were at yesterday, to 8 degrees of Scorpio, where they are at today, putting them into an exact square in fixed signs with Saturn currently at 8 degrees of Aquarius. So let's break all this down. Let's talk about what we may be experiencing as a result of these really big and dynamic activations that are going on today. First of all, Mercury and Mars together, this is always going to be explosive news, heated debates, arguments, fighting words, really cutting words are possible with this, conflicts, fights, motivation being very high, mental energy being very high as well. A lot of courage and assertiveness and willpower and passion and motivation in communicating, though, standing up for ourselves, asserting our rights to speak our truth. These things are very prominent when we have Mars and Mercury in a conjunction. And remember, this conjunction is happening in Scorpio. Scorpio is all about seeing under the surface of things, really digging down into deep root issues so that they can come to some type of healing and regeneration and resolution. And with this Mercury-Mars conjunction happening in the sign of Scorpio, it's telling us that there is some type of dynamic information that has been hidden that we are going to be exposed to that is going to have some type of an explosive effect in terms of either what we're hearing, what we're reading, what we're communicating, what is coming down to us through the media or social media or just in conversations in our own lives. This could be really big conflicts coming up as well about really important, serious root issues. Seeing the truth about things and issues that arise because of that and what we're motivated to do and say as a result of that. Mercury and Mars coming to a conjunction in Scorpio. And today, at 8 degrees of Scorpio, this degree where they are coming to the conjunction, the Sabian symbol or the energy of this specific degree described in a picture form. So it gives us more context about what this exact placement is actually symbolizing for us. That degree is the moon shining across the lake. So this is things being lit up, exposure, clarity through confusion, a light in the darkness, reflecting across the lake. So we're actually, we have the full light coming through and we are seeing that light that is reflecting on the surface of where things have been hidden underneath. Remember, this is Scorpio and it's all about things hidden deep down under the surface, and being a water sign, in the water ruling our emotions and our feelings and the depths of those things. And we have the moon shining across the lake, talking about the light shining down onto this body of water, which is representing our emotions and our feelings and what's going on internally and things that are underneath the surface, hidden from our view, being lit up, and we are reflecting on those things today. With Mercury and Mars conjoining at this degree, this is talking about really reflecting on what is being exposed to us in the light of the moon. And it really correlates again to the energy that we had yesterday, because yesterday when Mars and Mercury came to this conjunction, initially it was at 7 degrees of Scorpio. That degree is deep sea divers discover undersea wonders, talking about figuring out things, seeing literally what has been going on under the surface, discovering what has been hidden under the surface of things, learning about it, Mercury thinking about it, talking about it, information coming through, these revelations about things that have been hidden. That was the energetic that kicked off this activation yesterday. And yesterday we also had the moon itself represented in the symbolism of the Mercury-Mars conjunction today at 8 degrees of Scorpio. Yesterday, the moon for the initial Mercury-Mars conjunction at 7 Scorpio, deep sea divers discover undersea wonders, was in a conjunction with Pluto in Capricorn, ruled by Saturn, who is in the square right now. And Pluto is also one of the co-rulers of this Mars cycle. Yesterday, we had both rulers of this current Scorpio cycle that we are in forming an exact conjunction to significant planets. Mercury was with Mars, the moon was with Pluto. And, the moon specifically being with Pluto for the initiation of this Mercury-Mars conjunction yesterday was talking about the things that we are discovering having this really profound emotional transformative impact on us and really changing things for us on really deep internal levels. And now today we have the degree where Mars and Pluto are coming into this exact conjunction in a square to Saturn as well. At the degree, the moon reflecting, the moon shining across the lake. Again, talking about these emotional transformations that, may have started happening yesterday when we had the moon in conjunction to Pluto with Mercury in conjunction to Mars, both only 1 degree off square with Saturn. And today, the symbolism is really saying these internal changes, the things that have been exposed to us, the things in the darkness that we are seeing now because this light is shining on them are really having a very transformative effect on our feelings and our emotions, and we are reflecting on that today. So this is really, how I'm reading the specifics today of this Mercury-Mars conjunction that we have going on in Scorpio. So now let's bring in the Saturn Square, because this is also big business. I've personally been experiencing and dealing with this the past couple days, feeling this tension building. And it's funny because yesterday, the reason that my video went out so late yesterday is because I was actually having a really big problem with my YouTube channel. YouTube, for whatever reason, was not letting me upload videos only specifically onto my Aubrey Stars channel. And I was like freaking out. And it was simultaneously I was understanding consciously while I was going through this yesterday and I was all stressed out about it, Mars and Mercury, what you're putting energy into communicating in a square with Saturn, limiting, restricting, holding back, frustrating the spread of information. And that literally verbatim, not a metaphor, specifically is what I was dealing with yesterday. And that's the reason that my video went out late yesterday. And I'm really, really happy that I figured out another way that I could upload because I was having so many problems. And I'm hoping that this clears up as this transit wanes out over the next few days. But I just wanted to give you guys a little example of just personally what I've been dealing with of these transits manifesting in real time. And I was seriously experiencing so much frustration yesterday, just putting so much time and effort in trying to communicate and get my message out there. Mercury and Mars. And I just kept hitting the wall, hitting the wall, hitting the wall, and nothing was working. Like I said, I finally was able to find a back end way and get it temporarily resolved, and I'm hoping this clears up, like I said, as this transit wanes out. But anyways, that's just a small example, but we can take that and extrapolate it out in a variety of ways. And I'm thinking, with this Mercury Mars in a square to Saturn, we may really be experiencing some really big limitations right now on our ability to express ourselves and to actually act on and communicate the things that we've been working on and putting effort into. There may be some blockages or obstructions that are kind of shutting us down at this point in time, because Saturn rules restrictions and boundaries and limitations and rules. And so one way that we may experience this energetic is in Aquarius. That's the sign of the internet as well. It rules things that travel invisibly through the air and Wi-Fi and stuff like that. And with Saturn in Aquarius and Mars and Mercury in Scorpio this week, there may be some even bigger online censorship and stuff that we see going on, especially specifically of like really deep and profound truths that are being exposed at this point in time. There may be a very strong clampdown this week specifically on people, individuals, news stories, and anything to do with like communicating and the spread of information that goes against authority or establishment. With this, we may really like, and especially with it, Saturn, like I said, being an Aquarius that rules online and the internet and the media and, like I said, Wi-Fi and things that travel through the air, this could definitely be a theme of this energy. Now, another theme of this energy that I see happening very strongly. So, okay, for one, communication and energy we're putting into communication this week, our efforts may be being blocked, restricted, hindered in some type of way. Number two, there's this thing with a rebellion and authority when we have Mars and Mercury in Scorpio in a square to Saturn and Aquarius. People not generally willing to follow the rules, obey authority, obey commands, fall in line if what they are being asked to do is going against their conscience, their internal compass, and what they're fighting for right now. Remember, we are in a process right now of really going through these deep internal transformations and rediscovering the truth of our authentic internal value and the actual power that represents. And we're being asked by universe to really acknowledge that and come into a place where we can really begin to creatively, like, to activate our creative potential that is held inside of us so that we can grow and expand, like, to the highest capacity of what we've been given so that we can come into our self-mastery and help others along that same path and really begin to co-create our lives in conjunction with God and universe moving forward, instead of like really being more like motivated and controlled through our subconscious programming and our traumas and our shadow side issues and stuff like that, which has largely been the case up until this point in time. We're really breaking out of toxic, self-sabotaging programming and thought patterns and aligning with the truth of our internal value and our self-love and realizing how powerful that makes us and the opportunity that that gives us to cultivate our power, to step into our power and to co-create with universe and really go down a brand new path that is leading to a greatly elevated level of abundance and fulfillment and love in our lives generally. And that is the transitional process that we're going through as we go through into the age of Aquarius, this the hero's journey and transforming our victimhood into self-mastery. And then, like I said, cultivating our potential. This is where we're going. And right now, in the process of all this, people are really fighting back against things that are still trying to hold them back and keep them in a place that is no longer in alignment with that authentic truth that is held inside and that is yearning to be acknowledged and cultivated and nurtured at this point in time. So people actively fighting back against authority, against establishment, against rules and regulations that are out of alignment with their moral compass, their integrity, their values, their true internal values, and just their conscience generally. If there is a self-organizing collective of individuals right now who are standing up for their freedom and for their rights and for their right to live in alignment with their own values, they are going to be standing against the establishment in some type of a big way this week, overthrowing of establishments or just standing up to establishments. Saturn, because we're talking about Saturn, you guys. Saturn rules tradition, authority, establishment, control dynamics, and control structures that have been long-standing for long periods of time. And Capricorn is the same. Capricorn correlates to these same themes. And remember, we also have Pluto in Capricorn right now, which is also talking about the destruction and rebirth of long-standing establishments and power and control dynamics. But we're seeing this in the context of these energetics today as well. And this Mars Mercury square representing the people, really in Scorpio, the people finding out and discovering some really deep truths that potentially have been hidden from us, learning some really profound things, and as a result, really clashing with authority and established ways of being and doing. And with Saturn and Aquarius as well, this is like rules that are being applied to the collective and to the overall whole. And it is very volatile energetics that we have going on this week with these 3 planets forming this square. And it's interesting because we also yesterday we had the moon for the Mercury Mars conjunction. Yesterday we had the moon conjuncting Pluto. Today for the Mercury Mars conjunction, an exact square to Saturn, we have the moon in an exact conjunction to Saturn. So the moon is in this game again today, this time aligned with Saturn. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. But I kind of want to pull back a little bit right now because we have some Sabian symbols today that are very relevant and that say a lot about what is happening, what is going on right now. And those are simply being brought to us by the position of the sun and the earth today, you guys. This is crazy when I saw that this was the degree where this was happening. So the sun today is at 19 degrees of Scorpio, and that Sabian symbol or that particular energetic described in a picture form so that we have a better idea, more clarity about how that specific point in the zodiac operates and what it activates. It is a parrot listening and then repeating a conversation it has overheard. So in correspondence with Mars and Mercury in a conjunction today in Scorpio, these deep, uncovered, hidden root issues and truths that are rising to the surface and just completely blowing our mind. Mars and Mercury, mind blown. Okay. We have the actual sun today talking about a parrot listening and then repeats a conversation it has overheard. First off, Mercury and Mars together, this is the spread of information, the quick spread of information. And then we have the sun at this degree, literally verbatim talking about the spread of information being heard and repeated, and it having this ripple effect, this spreading effect of information. Whatever is coming out this week, you guys, it is going, despite any blockages or restrictions that are placed upon it from the Saturn energy in this dynamic as well, information that is coming out this week is going to be spreading like wildfire. It is going to be heard, repeated, perpetuated, and it's just, there is not going to be really any controlling the spread of the information that is coming out this week, today, under these energetics. It's what is coming out right now, you guys, either in your personal life, if you are finding out some secrets that really change things for you in a big type of way, whatever you're finding out, whatever you're hearing, whatever you're listening to, whatever you're learning right now, it is very likely to have a snowball effect in some type of a way and to definitely be spreading. These truths, these things that we uncover are going to be spreading this week. And it's just, I can't believe that would be the position of the sun today for this exact super powerful aspect that we have going on. And then we have the earth today at 19 degrees of Taurus. That Sabian symbol is a new continent is rising out of the ocean. So what is this doing? Like, what is this fundamentally doing? It's doing the same thing that the new moon in Scorpio in exact opposition to Uranus was talking about. It is literally birthing an entirely new reality, an entirely new paradigm. We are in the cycle of the year right now that because of Uranus's involvement, Uranus being the ruler of the age of Aquarius, Uranus having been in exact opposition to the new moon in Scorpio, on the new moon in Scorpio, I was really feeling the vibes like this cycle was really going to be the transitional point into the age of Aquarius on an energetic level. And so far, none of the energetics have disappointed. And now here we are at this crucial day, just, about a week following our new moon in Scorpio that we had, and all of these energetics are being activated and they are all pushing for this like major internal transformation that is breaking us through negative toxic cycles transforming us on deep fundamental levels based on these things that we are discovering, learning, and finding out that have been hidden, and really had us in a state of not having all the information and not being able to make the best decisions and choices for ourselves because we didn't understand the root issues. But now we're discovering the root issues. It's transforming us on this deep fundamental level. We are doing the whole Chiron thing, the whole hero's journey thing, alchemizing our wounding and our trauma and our victimhood into our healing and our wisdom and our self-mastery and this valuable experience, wisdom that we are gaining through experience. And it's just fundamentally changing our vibration, which is bridging us vibrationally, energetically into the age of Aquarius that I really feel like is rising out of the ocean right now. I mean, it's even interesting in the way that this symbol is worded, rising out of the ocean. That is what we are doing. We are rising out of the ocean. We are rising out of the paradigm of Pisces, the Pisces energetic, the age of Pisces, the watery realms and depths of the Pisces energy, rising out of the ocean into the air, forming a brand new world and aligned with a brand new energetic frequency that is coming in, and that is the frequency of self-knowledge, self-empowerment, self-mastery, and co-creation with universe. No more states of victimhood and subconscious programming and shadow side issues being the rulers of our experiences. We are breaking through that. We are breaking cycles. We are being elevated on a vibrational level, and literally the position of the earth today is even talking about this new world that is in the process of emerging right now. A continent is rising out of the ocean. So any way you slice it today with these energetics, we are figuring out what has been going on, what the root issues and things have been. This is changing us in some really profound and transformative ways, and it is shifting our vibration, and we are aligning with a new energetic paradigm that is being birthed right now, and that is the age of Aquarius. And it's very, very turbulent, very chaotic, very tense, very frustrating. Trust me, I've been dealing with it as well. Very intense, intimidating, scary times. But it's happening. Like, the time is now. And from the cosmic perspective, these are very, very, very exciting times. And they are really, truly leading to a beautiful rebirth. And we just need to hold to the faith and realize the truth of everything that is really going on here, and be willing to let go of the things that are leaving our life right now, and being willing to open to new opportunities that present themselves, because the new things that come in are going to be so much more in alignment with who we truly are, what we're truly meant to do, and what will really give us the opportunity to come into that and to develop and activate that creative potential, and to really truly experience the genuine fulfillment and happiness in our lives. Now, the next thing that I want to say, like I said, yesterday we had the moon in an exact conjunction with Pluto while we had this Mercury, Mars, Saturn square going on. Today, the moon has moved out of Capricorn, has moved into Aquarius, and is now in a conjunction today with Saturn while we have the Mercury, Mars conjunction in square to Saturn. So it's actually Mars and Mercury in Scorpio in square to Saturn and the moon in Aquarius. And the moon, this is our trigger planet. Whenever the moon is making aspects, things have a tendency to actually tangibly happen. And so we may really see some things, some action happening today along the lines of all the themes that I have been speaking about so far in this report. With the moon in Aquarius in the conjunction with Saturn today, you guys, again, this could really have us wanting to rebel against authority. Aquarius is known as being the sign of rebellion. I mean, it's really rebellion for the sake of not conforming to things that are out of alignment with our authenticity. It's really about, not falling in line with things that are unauthentic to you. That is really where the rebellion energy comes from in terms of the Aquarian archetype. But in this context, and with the moon with Saturn, if there are limitations or restrictions or rules or boundaries that are being placed on us at this point in time that are hindering our creative self-expression or our ability to actively communicate what we have to say with the moon here today, we could definitely see some big time rebellion going on. And again, rebelling against authority, not following rules, like all of these things very indicated today. And also, I want to mention that the police and the military, those things are ruled by Mars, and Saturn rules like the command over those, like the high positions and the authority and the command over those. So we also, it's possible, may witness some tension or some lack of willingness to follow orders coming through in terms of potentially some like military or police or things like that also resisting orders from authority as well. So I wanted to bring that up as well, because that is just another way that this energy could potentially manifest. It is something that happens when we have Mars in a square to Saturn. Mars also rules the youth and younger generations, and Mercury does to some extent as well. So this could definitely be creating clashes between like younger and older generations as well, we could see with this energy. But again, back to the moon being in Aquarius right now, a really strong emotional internal desire to rebel against authority and limitations being placed on our like active communication, or what we are trying to, our truth that we are trying to speak today. Or it could also be people acting very controlling or exerting a lot of very dominant and limiting behavior over other people. So it could kind of go both ways with this moon in the conjunction to Saturn today as well. Either, and they can both fit together. I mean, it makes sense that they would both fit together, on some sides of the story. Some people are going to be internalizing this energy and really embodying the Saturn archetype and being the ones clamping down and placing the boundaries and laying the restrictions and cutting off the communication. Whereas and the other side of that story is the people who are trying to like actively spread the information that they are trying to get out right now, that they've discovered, or talk about what they've discovered or these truths or what they're learning, may be very like actively, passionately rebellious against these authority figures. So both sides of this we could see today with this. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about before I get into the tarot real quick is, again, like, and this is just a very minor aspect of the energy that we have going on, but I want to talk about the sign of Capricorn really quick, because that is ruled by Saturn, who is very much in this game energetically today, obviously one of the primary players in what we have going on right now. And we have Venus currently and Pluto both in Saturn's sign of Capricorn, and this is telling me really that transforming values are really playing into all of this as well. And again, Pluto rules the death and the rebirth and the regeneration of this long-standing establishment. And Venus in Capricorn is really, taking what we value and what we love very seriously. And so it's like, also simultaneously to this, there is like this death, rebirth, and regeneration in terms of our values, our true values, and what we really love and what we are really prioritizing in terms of those things playing into this whole Saturn dynamic as well. Like another facet of these underlying shifts that we have going on, this inner transformation in terms of our inner value, how we're perceiving our inner value, what we truly value, and how this is contributing to us either standing in our power and speaking our mind, or, trying to limit and restrict other people from doing that. So another just part of this story, even though it's a little smaller of one, that I wanted to bring up in the context of this energy that we have today. So overall, you guys, like, really, a parrot listening and then talking repeats a conversation he has overheard while we have Mars and Mercury in an exact conjunction in Scorpio at the degree the moon shining across a lake, talking about these, what has been exposed to us, what in the darkness has been exposed to us that we are emotionally reflecting on. And then, we're listening and talking about it. And then there's simultaneously a new continent rising out of the ocean today, the birth of the Aquarian paradigm in correspondence with this. So this week, this whole cycle, this whole Scorpio cycle, because remember, Uranus was in an exact opposition to the new moon in Scorpio. This whole cycle is the Great Awakening, the Great Rectification, the Galactic Fixer has, a divine ordination right now to come in and put things right, regardless of how messy that process may be. And that's really what is happening right now. And throughout this entire cycle, over this next, couple of weeks, we really are in a very energetically transitional phase. Expect the unexpected, the heights of unpredictability. Strategy, mental strategy is very, very highlighted and supported right now. If there is something that you need to do, a change you need to make, being very strategic, paying attention to detail, precision will be your best friend and benefit you in your scenario for sure. And we just expect the unexpected, but as a part of that, things spreading quickly is definitely a theme that we can anticipate. So let's talk about the tarot real quick, you guys. I was shuffling this morning. One of the cards just flipped over in the deck. That card was the 9 of Cups, the Wish card. And then I asked for some more clarity and I got 2 more cards. And those cards were the 9 of Pentacles in reverse and the Page of Swords in reverse. And then on the back of the deck, interesting enough, we had the 3 of Cups. So what is this telling us about the collective energy that we have going on right now? It's actually a pretty specific message, and I feel like it honestly corresponds quite well to the astrology. So what this is saying to me is that we may feel, okay, first of all, there is some type of wish fulfillment underway right now. This was the first card that came out. So I know that Spirit is telling us that we are actually in a process of moving towards some type of wish fulfillment. But with the 9 of Pentacles in reverse and the Ace of Swords, or the Page of Swords in reverse, this is telling me that we may feel just generally blocked in our progress right now. Mercury and Mars square Saturn. Things are really totally upside down at this point in time. But, we also had the Wish card. This is also a process. It's actually a process of aligning us with wish fulfillment and an inner reunion with our true authentic self and the things that provide genuine joy, celebration, and fulfillment. The 3 of Cups on the back of the deck. So, this is really saying that we need to have faith. That was the main message that I got from these tarot cards this morning, with this card coming out first. We need to have faith right now that no matter how things look, this is genuinely leading us to a place of wish fulfillment in the future. Like I've been saying this whole time, we are in silver lining energy right now. The 9 of Pentacles in reverse, this is the self-made woman. This is we may feel like just all of our progress is stifled or upside down right now. And the Page of Swords, Mercury square Saturn, even our ideas may be blocked or our communication blocked at this point in time. Our progress and our ideas, our communication sort of being blocked right now for some reason. But it is moving us towards wish fulfillment, and that's how it's going to be. My camera's about to shut off. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day, and these energetics are intense. Be safe out there.